Hey yo, man, RIP. If don't know why I say hey yo, I think I said it once or twice before, but it's from The Wire. Um, The Wire. I'm just trying to find his name now. Michael Williams, Omar from The Wire, and he just died. I think yesterday or 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So rest in peace to him. Um, he's one of my favorite characters on that show, which is why I say that, hey, yo. But anyways, gonna call some leads here. I've been really neglecting the follow up. I have a few hot leads too that I need to just stay on top of. Sorry, the lighting's so poor in here. I got the light on my back, so I try to brighten it up here with my desk lamp. But yeah, I've been doing a lot. I've been scrambling. Me and my girlfriend are going out to a friend's wedding in Hawaii next week. So I've been kind of getting my affairs in order. We need to get all the travel stuff situated, get COVID tests, fill out, make online profiles for everything, all types of stuff. I've been shopping, trying to get all my clothes in order I'm going to wear out there. And yeah, just, my girls have car issues. We're kind of scrambling. Yesterday was my birthday. The day before that was our anniversary that we celebrated. So just been kind of all over the place. But just a quick update on the deal that I do have in escrow. My buyer had, was kind of a little antsy and I understand because I haven't really been giving him any updates. I was waiting on the seller to get back to me to let me know when the tenant was going to be out. The seller had told me, yeah, I served them a 30-day notice. That was in like the last week of August. But he never followed up. And I kept saying, like, well, when is the 30th day? When can we expect the tenant to be out so that we can set a tentative closing date so that I can start communicating with my lender and get the money lined up, which is what my buyer was telling me. Like, what's the closing date? Like, when are we expected to close so that I can start submitting my information to my lender to get my money lined up? And then my seller was saying, this was like 2 days ago. He was like, I'm going to go over there tonight to the property. And I was planning on having a conversation with the tenant then just to kind of pick his brain. And again, it's already been like 2 weeks since he served him the 30-day notice. He said, so I'll call you back tomorrow, which was yesterday, and let you know for sure when he's going to be out. So I talked to him, and this came after like 4 days of him ghosting me over the holiday weekend. I tried him like 3 times on Friday, twice on Saturday, twice on Monday, and then finally got a hold of him on Tuesday. And that's when he told me, oh, I'm going to go there tonight. So I call him again Wednesday, and he says, the tenant's going to be out in 1 or 2 days. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish you would have told me that 2 weeks ago because then we could have closed in 2 days. But I was under the impression that he was going to take the full 30 days and was, we were looking at probably an end of September closing. So I let my buyer know, like, hey, he's looking to be out within the next few days. And he was saying the same thing I just said. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry. Like, I haven't submitted anything to my lender. Is it all right if we keep the closing towards the end of September? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. How about we set it for the 24th, which was like a Friday, I think, before the last week of September. And if you can get your lender, lined up, the money lined up before then, and we can close before then, and the tenant's already out, then let's make it happen before then. He said, that's cool. I was supposed to hear from my seller again today for him to actually confirm, because again, he was like, it's going to be either tomorrow or 2 days from now because he needs to get his stuff out. The way he talks, it's just like he's wanting to tell me what I want to hear. So kind of got to like take it with a grain of salt. So he says 2 days. The fact that my buyer needs like a couple more weeks is actually giving me a little bit of peace of mind, because for that exact reason, I feel like my seller is kind of just stretching the truth and trying to feed me what I want to hear. But anyways, that's what's going on with that one. I had another lead call me back. She actually called me by mistake, thinking that I was an investor who she already signed an agreement with about 2 months ago. But it was somebody who I had been talking with. If you watch my prior videos, we agreed to $62,000. And she just wasn't wanting to sign the contract. And I knew something was fishy was going on. She kept saying, oh, just send it. And when I would handle that objection and say, well, as a courtesy, we like to go over with the contracts with the sellers just so that we know we're on the same page, right? And we were there to answer any questions or concerns. And she's like, okay, okay, I'll be in front of my computer tomorrow. And then I would call her tomorrow and she wouldn't answer. And then when she would answer, she'd be at work, unable to. So I found out. So she was wanting to get a hold. Essentially, I found out she already has an agreement in place. It's been in place for about 2 months. By the way she talks about it, it sounds like the investor, the buyer, on the other side of that agreement is claiming that she never answers her phone and that she was the reason that it didn't get to the closing table. The way she's talking about it is, yeah, he's saying that, but I'm just always at work. I can't answer my call. And I have had this experience with her. I'm always at work. I can't answer my calls all the time when I'm at work. I work at a hospital. I can't just step out and take the call. So it's either that the investor truly felt that it was on the seller's, on the seller's part that it didn't close, or he just had the intention of filing a memorandum on the property. So what that is doing, and that's what she is kind of saying. She's referring to it as a lien that the buyer placed on the property, which is preventing her from selling it. I don't see a lien on PropStream. So what I'm assuming that she's talking about is a memorandum, meaning that once they got this contract signed and established between them, what he did is went down to the county recorder's office and recorded a memorandum, which clouds the title, is what it's referred to. Essentially saying that title cannot be cleared unless you go through him, because he already has equitable interest in the property via his agreement that he has direct to seller. So some people use that unethically, though. Some people never have the intention on closing on the property and simply have the intention on agreeing to a price that the seller wants and then going right away and recording the memorandum, and just kind of ghosting the seller, never having any interest in actually buying the property. And then when somebody like me comes around who wants to get an agreement in place and wants to execute on the agreement, now I'm going to have to contact him and say, hey, I'm talking to the seller. Sounds like we have an agreement. I'm looking to buy the place, but I see that you've clouded the title by filing a memorandum. What's your intention with the property? And then see what his story is. And then see if it's something that he's willing to take, like $1,000, $2,000 to remove the memorandum, which is, again, how people use that unethically. Some people will just file memorandum so that they can get paid out, so that title can be cleared, and then a legitimate investor can actually close on the property. So I hope that that's not the case. I hope that, I mean, the way that she said it, I don't know. I won't know until I get the agreement and I open escrow and I run a title search with my title company. So, maybe it's something that my title company can do, like a preliminary title search without actually opening escrow, but I don't want to burden them. I know that nothing is preventing me from signing an agreement with that seller. And then, she can sign 10 agreements with 10 different sellers. And then if nobody files a memorandum, it's just going to be like, who signed the agreement first, the first dated, and, do they have the intention on closing on the property? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like, I know that signing an agreement with her is still something that I'm wanting to do, and that we can handle all of that in escrow, right? I'll ask for probably a longer due diligence period, like a 30-day due diligence period, just to give me enough time and resources to be able to contact that investor and sort through these things, if that is the case. But for all I know, we could open escrow and we can clear title right away, and that there is no memorandum on file. And you know what I mean? So she asked for a few days. And that she would contact me because she was wanting to handle it herself. Despite my multiple attempts at trying to just let her know that it's not necessary. She doesn't have to do anything. And in fact, anything that she does is kind of useless, because if there is a memorandum on file, it's going to have to be removed, like, officially, right? She's not going to just be able to call the guy and say, hey, can you take this off? And he's going to do it. Although that's what she thinks is going to happen. So she is looking for the original agreement that she has with him and his contact information so that she can try to get in contact with him. I honestly have my fingers crossed that she's unable to do that, because the last thing that I want to do is for her to call him back. And the reason that they never closed in the first place was just due to a poor, lack of communication. And then he says, oh, you're still, because I'm going under agreement at the same price as he is. And I just don't want her to call him and be like, oh, you're ready to sell now? Like, yeah, let's do it. Right. And then them just move forward. That's the last thing that I want. So I'm gonna give her a call and some other people. Those are like my two kind of, and then the third one is the gentleman whose mother is a dialysis patient, has kidney failure and stuff like that. So um, they wanted the weekend as well to discuss it, and then I was supposed to contact them a few days ago, but again, I've just been all over the place. So I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna start dialing, and it's gonna be. I have a lot of people to follow up with, so I hope that it doesn't like. I don't know. I didn't intend for this to be a long video, but hopefully it is for good reason. So let's start calling these people. This guy, I'll let you know when I go to call some of those people. I'm just going in order with what I see here. This guy has a lot out in a city here in my market, and I had thrown out 50,000 for the lot. I think I can probably take down like 55 for it, something small. But we had essentially agreed to it. But he wanted the weekend to talk to his wife, and that was like 3 weeks ago. So like a month ago. Almost 2 months ago. So he's not really motivated. It was just he's thought that the 50,000 sounded good. So hello.
Please leave your message for 21021411176.
Hey Francisco, this is Derek. I was calling you about the property that we've been speaking about, your lot over on North 7th Street. Just wanted to round back, see if there was any interest in selling that property. I know last time we talked, I think I was right around the 45,000 mark, possibly. Yeah, I had offered 45, and I was just going to need to get approval for the 50. The 50,000. It sounded like you may be interested in that, but you were wanting to discuss it with your wife first. So let me know. Give me a shout if you are still interested, or if you're not, let me know so I stop bothering and calling you every day. But my direct line here for reference is 832-324. All right, I'm gonna text him too. It looks like that's a cell phone. No, I'm not. I've already texted him twice, and he's never responded. Call him in 2 weeks. I'll call him in like a month. He's really not motivated, but he's gonna sell eventually. I know he is. All right, this is one where I spoke with the woman, and she was like, "Oh, you got to talk to my daughter about it." And then I talked to the daughter about it, and we came to an agreement on price. And I was literally sending her over the agreement via email. But then, like the women, like it was just a household full of women, and I can hear them all chattering in the background. And then I placed them on hold so that I can fill out the agreement and send it off. And then they were like, "We can get more. We can get more." Although I was giving them what they were asking for, which was really frustrating. So they wanted to because it's owner occupied. This one's owner occupied, so they wanted to know their options. They plan on taking this property and using the proceeds to buy another property. So it would be something kind of a little unique for me to do. I would probably have to implement some type of a leaseback agreement to where they could stay in the property for like a month after they sell it, so that they can use that money from the sale to buy a new place. And they were also wanting to just discuss it with a realtor because they threw out the $60,000 mark for their asking price, but they don't know why. They don't know why 60,000. They just know that that sounds like a good chunk of change to be able to put a sizable down payment down on a new place, to where their mortgage payments aren't significantly high every month. Just reviewing my notes. 4-bed, 1-bath, no central AC, replaced roof 2 months ago, foundation on stilts 5 years ago to avoid flooding. They have bad credit. their next door neighbor offered them 50 and they wouldn't take it. Um, my max allowable on this one is like 63 with a $10,000 assignment. So as long as the rehab isn't crazy and I don't find a buyer who's gonna, the only thing that kind of throws me off on this one is that lease back. I don't know if there's gonna be a buyer who's willing to entertain that. And if they are, it's gonna need to be at a significantly lower price.
Hello?
Hi, is this Miss Elvira?
This is her daughter. What's it concerning?
Yeah, this is Derek. Am I speaking with Priscilla?
Yes.
Hi, Priscilla. This is Derek. We spoke a few weeks back in regards to the property over on Kentucky Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to round back with you. And last kind of we left off, I know you guys were wanting to do a little bit of research on your end to figure out, what type of, the plans in order to move into a new place after you sell this place. So I just.
No, she didn't want to sell it after all. My mother said no.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate you taking the call anyways.
Okay then.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Yeah, I kind of expected that too. I wish that I wouldn't have wasted so much time on this one, but that's just how they were. I knew that as soon as I gave them what they were asking for, and they didn't want to move forward. And the reason I say that is because I think that they thought their asking price was really high, and then when I gave it to them, they were like, "Oh, really? Like, we need to put it into perspective." They were asking 60,000. I was trying to come in and anchor them a little bit and get them to drop to like 50,000. And then I went back and forth. I was on the phone with them for like an hour. I played the negotiation game. Let me place you on a quick hold. Let me go speak to my funding partner, see if we can make that number work. And finally, it came down to it. And I was like, all right, we can do the 60,000. Like, this is the terms, yada, yada. And they were like, okay, send it over. Here's the email. And then I placed them on hold and they were like, oh, wait, like what? Really? 60,000? Like what? And then I got back on the phone and she was like, my daughter thinks, her daughter, Priscilla's daughter, so the granddaughter of the owner, she thinks that we can probably get 80,000. I'm like, what? That's not even that's slapping me in my face. Like, what are you talking about? You asked for 60,000 and I gave it to you. And I made sure to not make it too sweet. Like, that's what I'm trying to say is I was on the phone with them for like an hour. Like, let me place on hold. I don't know. That's going to be pretty tight, like, all right, as long as you're able to, like, as long as you're wanting to move forward with this right now, we can do that. I did not make it sweet for them. And once they were like, oh, I think we can get 80, I was like, all right, they're not even serious. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. No longer wants to sell. I'm gonna put them on like a year follow up though. Maybe like a 6-month follow up. Follow up to gauge interest. 6-month follow up. Still no interest in selling? Question mark. Call them back like March. I even threw this one to my realtor because they were gonna have to buy a place, right? So it was seeming like something that everybody was gonna benefit from, but yeah, they just bailed. How weak. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. probably could have dug a little deeper on that. I don't know. They weren't going to sell regardless, but it would have, I guess, been nice to know why, to like set myself a more refined or specific follow up, right? If it was like a reason, like, oh, well, 3 months from now, this is going to happen. And, at that 6 month mark, my daughter's going to graduate from high school or, whatever the case may be. Um, I get to like thinking that when I walk away from the computer, it's like, dang, like, well, I wish I would have known, why. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna skip forward and just call these warmer leads here to see if I can get somebody on the phone that's actually wanting to sell, because these ones I know are kind of that I'm burning through here. That one I really didn't know. That one was still up in the air, but uh, with some of these other ones, I kind of know that there's no real interest. I'm more so just like going through the motions. This guy, oh, okay, this is just a realtor referral. I'll follow up with my realtor next week to see if there's any progress made on that one. This guy had called him. He wanted 130, has family living in it. I asked, has he considered listing it on the market? He hadn't put much thought into it, but he said he was starting to consider. That was about a month ago. He only gets $850 per month in rent. I offered him 60 to 70,000 cash. He was uninterested. Again, about half of his asking price. His estimate's 141. I probably could have come up a little bit, but definitely not to 130. But if the property's in good enough condition, I think 130 may be a reasonable asking price on the open market. So I, again, felt him out for a realtor referral to see if he was just open to listing it. And he sounded like he was. So I tossed this lead over to my realtor to see what he can make happen with it, see if it can be an on-market lead for him. And if it is, hopefully give me a little bit of a kickback. So again, that one, nothing really happening there. This guy was one of my first leads ever. It was when I used to do texting through batch leads. I stopped doing texting just because it became too expensive and I didn't really know what I was doing. I ended up just wasting a lot of money on text, but I held on to the leads that I did get from texting and I carried it over to my dialer once I got that. So this guy, his father, and I beat myself up about this lead all the time because it's a lot. It's a lot. Is in a vacant lot of land. And he texted back and was like, to the SMS campaign, the text campaign was like, yeah, but I can't accept anything less than 55. And now in looking at it, I think that that's like a really good number. And I should have been able to just accept that right away. So it's a double lot actually. So I think single lots in this area. Let me double check that. The lot is, yeah, about a little over 9,000 square feet, but the lots in this area about 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. So it is a double lot. You could build 2 homes on it. And for that reason, I think each lot honestly goes for like 50. He texted my partner at one point, said 75 is like the lowest. He's not desperate, has no need to sell, but would sell for the right price. Told him about not wasting time. If I think that contract over to him, we will be able to close quickly. Set up call for Monday. 240 was a new build in the area on average. So for 2 homes, I'm assuming a buyer would, yeah. So 240 is a new build on a half that size, right? So 240, taking like 15% of that, 36 for one lot. So if I got the double lot and was able to subdivide it, or my buyer was able to subdivide it and split it into 2 lots that can be built upon, then I think that they wouldn't have an issue. Multiplying that by 2, it's 72. I'm not sure the cost of subdivision and to get something build ready, but I would imagine it's not cheap. So I don't know, take 15,000 off of that. 57 is where they would buy it, which is why I would want to be somewhere around 50 for the lot. So it's been a really long time since I talked to this guy, or since anybody's talked to this guy. Back in April is when he let us know that they were no longer interested, which is why he's pretty much on like a 6-month follow up right now, just to kind of be sure, because at one point they were interested and then all of a sudden they weren't. So, I just want to make sure that there's no building on it. I guess I'll just ask him.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Yeah, this is Richard. Thank you. I'm away from the phone right now, but if you leave a brief message, I will return your call as soon as possible. It's not available.
Hey, Richard, this is Derek. Me and you had spoke a while back in regards to, I believe, your father's property over on Majestic Street, that lot there, the double wide lot. I think a few months back you had let us know that there was no longer any interest. I think you or your father were actually, had some plans on moving forward and doing something with that lot there. But I just wanted to round back, see if that was still the case, see if you may have put in any thought towards selling it. Again, we can come in with a cash offer and we can close fairly quickly as well if that's something that you may be interested in. Again, this is Derek. If you can give me a call back either way to let me know if there is interest or not, just so I can stop bugging you here, it would be much appreciated. My direct line is 832. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I'm gonna call him in 3 months because it rang a bell right as I was saying it. They were like, oh, we're just gonna build a duplex on it. It's like, what? You went from wanting a cash offer on a vacant lot to deciding to build a duplex on it. So I I would imagine that they're probably still interested in selling, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth giving him a call every 3 months, especially if he's not going to answer. If he would have answered right there and been like, "No, we're still not interested," I probably would have given him another 6 months. But the fact that I don't, I'm not getting him on the phone, I just want to. It doesn't take but a second to give him a call in 3 months from now. If I'm not going to get him on the phone, I would much rather get him on the phone and him tell me one way or the other if he's interested. So this is one of the warmer ones here. This is the gentleman. His name's Harry. The gentleman named Harry that has the mother who is going through dialysis treatment, kidney failure. She's getting ready to get a kidney transplant. I connected with the mother about a week ago. She let me know that Harry, her son, wanted to speak with his uncle and figure out what homes are selling for. Derek mentioned that he would call back early next week. I don't know. This just needs to be closed. And it's going to be on my part. I'm going to need to kind of pull some tricks out of the bag here to just push them towards closing because I'm not sure exactly what it is they're even wanting. It's probably the price. So if I can get talking about money, I think I could probably give them something that they'd be interested in. I have my max allowable at 55. I threw out 40 is kind of where I'm at. I had given him a range of 40 to 50 at one point in time, and he seemed open to that. When I called back and spoke with his mother, I had let her know that I was going to be pretty much right around 40, but that I may be able to make something work. And that's with a $20,000 buyer profit, a $40,000 rehab, which could be a little bit more, and a $10,000 assignment fee. So I'm going to give him a call. Hopefully this is a good one. Every time I talk to these people, it seems like it's moving forward. I just want to be able to push them over the edge here. They've been sitting on the fence for a while.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Hello, this message is for either Carolyn or Harry. This is Derek. We've been speaking about your property over on Bell Bay Street. Just wanted to reconnect. I had spoken with Carolyn about a week ago. She let me know that a few more conversations were wanting to be had amongst the family to decide, which direction you guys were leaning. So I just wanted to round back again, reconnect, and see what you guys are thinking, and see if a cash offer is still something that you might be interested in. Again, this is Derek, and if you could please give me a call at your earliest convenience, it would be much appreciated. No answer on that one. That one's hot though. I just don't want that one to slip through. I'm gonna give them a call. If not later, probably won't be able to give them a call later today, but I'm gonna give them a call tomorrow for sure. Jonathan Williams. I spoke with Miss Williams, I believe, on this one, asking 155 and nothing less. Already has offers on the property. Said she was holding out until she gets 155. Derek let her know this is out of his price range. Looks like ARV on this one is probably like, ARV on this one's like 190. Okay, I remember this one. Yeah, it's backing commercial, which is the problem. I wonder what's behind it here. And I remember there's one comp that's like the perfect comp that sold right down the street that also backs this commercial. It looks like some type of school or something, like a high school. I want to figure that out so that I can reference it if and when I get her on the phone and we start talking about it. Yeah, it's an elementary school. Two schools. Two schools. Pre-kindergarten, kindergarten school, and then an elementary school. And her property backs the open field, like baseball field of the elementary school. So, and that she has a property that sold literally just a few doors down. And that one sold for 180. 180. So I actually have ARV of 190. This one may be like a little bigger or something. I don't quite remember, but I've already done the math on this one, and I have ARV of 190. I think that's fairly conservative. Oh no, this one's same bed, same bath, same square footage. Let's see why I gave some more. It's a smaller lot and same year built. I'm not sure why. I think 180 is the ARV on this. Sold a month ago. Maybe it sold for something higher than that. Let's check it out on PropStream. I go ahead and dial out while I'm checking this, but I'm just wanting to make sure that, because sometimes when you see it, Texas is a non-disclosure state, so PropStream actually has more accurate info. So it's sold for 185. Sold for 185 a little over a month ago. I think that's exactly what this one would sell for, 185, which would leave my max allowable at like 95, probably 100 max. And she was wanting 155. That I really didn't get into it. She just let me know the price, so we didn't have a conversation about it. I just figured I wasn't going to be able to talk her down $60,000 or $50,000. So she lives in Virginia though. She's an out-of-state absentee owner. Give her a call, see what she's thinking. Figure out if she said she had offers, so see if she moved forward with any of those, and she out of curiosity what price it was at.
But if you please leave your name, phone number, date, and time to call, and a brief message, we will return your call at our earliest availability. Thank you very much, and may God bless you and yours always.
Hi there, this message is for Miss Williams. My name is Derek. We actually spoke about a month ago, maybe even just a couple of weeks ago, about your property over on Scenic Green Drive. At the time, you had let me know that you had already received some offers on the property. So figure out whether or not you ended up moving forward with any of those offers, or if the property was still available. If it is still available, I am interested in the property. I'd love to learn a little bit more about it and see what kind of offer I can make you. My partner and myself, we're looking to buy one, maybe two properties before the end of the month here, and we can pay cash. So if that's something that sounds like you might be interested in, please feel free to give me a call. Again, my name is Derek, and my direct line is 832. Talk to you soon. No answer on that one. Call in a week. That one actually was on, I think, a weekly. Oh no, I talked to her back in June, and then called. I only started following up with her again like a couple weeks ago. This guy was the guy who called me. His name is Victor. He called me to let me know after I had left so many voicemails from him that he was interested and that he didn't want me to think that he forgot about me. So this one, I don't know anything about it. When I cold called him for the first time, he asked for a call next week so he can let me know what he wanted to do with it. I confirmed that there was interest in selling though, and he said, yeah, he would sell it. And then he called me again about 2 months later saying, hey, just wanted to let you know I didn't forget about you. He said he wanted a chance to talk with his tenant to put them on more of a formal notice that he was interested in selling the property and that they would likely have to get out. So he just sounded like he wanted to give them more of a heads up than just serving them a 30-day notice. It sounds like he also has a lot of land that he owns with a partner, and he's going to speak with his partner to find the address and asking price so that I can get him an offer on that as well. I ran the numbers on his home. Depending on the level of repairs, I have his repairs being fairly bad or fairly high because this is a driving for dollars lead, and I can see on Google Maps that it's in pretty bad disrepair. The picture was taken probably 2 years ago though, so if any work has been done since then, it would be a little less. All right, I'm getting a call back here. I'm not sure who this is. I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. Hello, this is Derek.
Yes, someone just called me from this number.
Okay, yeah. Am I speaking with Miss Williams by chance?
Yes, this is she.
Hi, this is Derek. Yeah, we had spoke a while back in regards to your property on Scenic Green, I think.
Yes, Derek.
Yeah, I just wanted to round back, see if I think when we spoke about it, you had let me know that you had already received some offers. So I just wanted to round back, see if you ended up moving forward with any of those offers or if the property was still for sale.
Well, Derek, we are currently under contract.
Okay.
But we're currently under contract, but yeah, I can take your information down just in case, if we don't end up moving forward with this potential buyer. However, Derek, I think, did we discuss the property? I don't know. Did we discuss the fact that this is investment property? It's a tenant. It's investment property for us. It's our rental property. We have tenants, and we are selling, looking to sell it as investment property to include the tenancy. We've renewed with the tenant, so we've got the sale of the property will include purchasing the tenancy as well.
Okay. And
then the main thing is price. we discussed price because I don't know if when I brought the price, if I've talked with so many people. So
yeah,
my
no worries.
apologies, because we get solicitations all the time
I know, I get you.
for this, just like you calling.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not negotiating on the price. So we got a price range, and it's hard to fix. So if it's out of your price range, I don't remember if when we spoke earlier, if you mentioned that it was out of your price range or not.
Yeah, possibly. It was very brief, the conversation we had. I'm reviewing my notes here, and I think it sounded like I may have just caught you at a bad time, but that you did let me know that you had other offers. So yeah, I mean, if you are under contract, you please do save my information. Do you have kind of a tentative closing date established already?
Yeah, we're trying to close at the end of this month.
Okay.
So if but if like I say, we're not able to fall through, then
right.
But the main thing for us, and believe me, we're shoring up all of our records.
Yeah.
We're showing, and actually, you would have the benefit of this property with this buyer. If it falls through, they've done numerous inspections.
Okay.
and you'd have the benefit of us, definitely being able to speak on and provide proof of, the property condition.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, but now, Derek, let me just ask you, because, like I say, if it's out of your range, then then I can take your number down. But if it's out of your range, because I'm not negotiating with the range.
Understood. That's I was actually gonna ask. Without knowing anything about the property at all, what is that number that you guys have under contract that it sounds like is the firm number for you?
It's at least, actually, I wanted 155, and we're at 150.
Okay. So the contract's at 150. It's set for closing at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not set. We haven't negotiated the settlement date yet.
Okay.
But we're still in the buyer's due diligence period.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Do you know Do you know when that inspection period is set to end? That way, I mean, because if it ends and they're saying, yeah, everything's good to go, we can close on this date, then it sounds like it'll probably be a done deal.
Derek, I'll say for sure, if I'm not contacting you by by the end of the month,
okay,
before the end of the month, then that means it's not available.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, please do save my number, and I'd love to be. I completely understand that you already have something going on, which I want to congratulate you on first and foremost. That's cool that it sounds like you were fairly close to what you were wanting to get for the property. So that's exciting. And yeah, I'd love to be kind of a backup contingency plan for you if something does fall through. So please do save my number. Again, my name is Derek. You can save it as Derek Home Buyer or however you want to save it in your phone. And yeah, I'll look out for your phone call. And like you said, if I don't hear back from you, I'll just be under the assumption that everything was smooth and you were able to close it out.
How do you spell Derek?
Yeah, it's Derek.
Okay. And do you want to give a last name or?
Sure, you can say my last name. You can say my last name. It's Wilson, Wilson.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a company name?
Yeah, I'm working with Pathfinder Properties.
Pathfinder.
Yeah.
That's a one word or two?
One word, Pathfinder. Second word, Properties.
Properties. Now, let me just ask you while I have you on the phone.
Sure.
Properties, plural, properties, Properties.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So where y'all headquartered or physically located, and where are you physically located?
So that's a great.
Are you on the acquisition team or what?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm actually located in California, and I am on the acquisitions team for Pathfinder here. It's fairly small. It's just a few people here. We have a team in Houston, obviously, that is able to do all of the groundwork there. And our office is located in Fresno. So not in Houston, but close by. We buy in the Houston metro area. So really, 60 miles out is kind of our cutoff point from the inner city of Houston. But yeah, we like to buy all over as long as the numbers make sense.
Hmm. Okay, well, all right. And how are you all funded? Do you
Yeah,
provide? Because that's definitely, uh, we
sure.
require proof of funds. And how
Sure.
are you all funded?
Absolutely. So it really depends on the deal. I wish I could give you a little bit more concrete answer, but it really depends on the location of the house, what our exit strategy would be. We may use our own money if, again, the numbers make sense, but we also have opportunities to source a good amount of private money from just our immediate network here. So proof of funds, we'd be able to get you that, no problem. So again, if it's something that you think that you'd like a contingency plan on, or something that you're just not comfortable moving forward with the other buyer, or whatever the case may be, please do save my number. We're actively buying in the Houston metro area, like I mentioned. So as long as it makes sense for the both of us, I'd love to make something happen.
And what's your number? This is actually
Sure.
or is there a direct number?
That's my direct line.
Okay, that's interesting. You're in California, but did you reside in Houston at some point? Yeah. Okay. Now, just so I know. So is this you work for? Is this a real estate investment company?
Yes, it is.
Basically.
Yes, it is. We had, like I was mentioning a minute ago, it's depending on the property. Typically, we're looking for fix and flips, but we don't shy away from being able to, acquire a property if it isn't in good enough condition. We'd love to get a tenant in there. So, in this case, with you selling it with a tenant in place, as long as the lease agreement is something that we would be agreeable to, because we would essentially be assuming, your place in the lease agreement. As long as that's something that makes sense, then yeah, I don't think we would have any issue with taking the property on with the tenant in place too. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's always good to have contingencies.
yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. Now, how did you get my number? That's one thing.
Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Purchase list, or how did you get my number?
That's a good question. I'm not sure specifically where we do purchase lists. I'm not sure where, if this property resided on any specific list, but yeah, when it comes to getting phone numbers, we do have, depending on how the list was compiled, we then will use just a third party service. And I'd imagine that they get the numbers from public record. So yeah, we just use that third party service, and sometimes we get lucky and they give us a number that is correct, but majority of the time it's actually incorrect. So we just try to reach out to as many homeowners who we think may be interested in selling. But yeah.
So can you walk me quickly through your process? So say for instance, and I'm really kind of hoping this is not the case, but say for instance, the property will be available.
Mm-hmm.
Then and I'll call you. So walk me quickly through your process. How do y'all operate?
Sure. So at that point, I'd like to gather the information, and I say at that point too because again, I don't want to waste your time right now to go through the entire process. But at that point, I'd love to learn about the condition of the property. I would love to learn about the details of the current lease agreement, since you are selling it with the tenant in place. And then if we can agree on a timeline that you'd like to, get it off your hands, and a price that works for the both of us, then we would put an agreement in place. We would also ask for an inspection period. We can kind of talk on that, especially since you're saying that they've already done a lot of inspection, it may be something where, we would just need a couple of days to look over those inspection reports just to, protect our investment, be sure that we're not, stepping into anything that's going to cost a bunch of money in the long end. And then, yeah, once the inspection's done and we kind of confirm our numbers, then it's just as simple as really whenever you're wanting to close. And I don't mean to make it sound overly simple, but that's essentially what it is. We would just need a certain amount of time to get our lender, on board and our money lined up. But yeah, we would just need that inspection period to protect the investment. And as long as everything's kosher and checks out, then we'd be ready to close.
Do you all would you be amenable to using a title or settlement company that I as a seller pick, or do you have your own company that you utilize?
Yeah, we typically do, prefer to work with our title company that we work with always. It's our go-to title company, and it is Citizen Title on the west end of Houston there. So, but if that's something that is kind of a tipping point for you, and you're most comfortable going through your own title company, that's something that we can definitely discuss. The only reason we like to go through our title company is because we bring so much business to them that we get certain discounts and certain rate cuts when it comes to closing costs and what have you. And that is something that we would be comfortable taking care of as well. So that's the only reason we prefer and we ask that we can use our title company of choice, only because, again, since we would be handling the costs associated with the transaction, they're giving us certain discounts and whatnot.
Okay, so you'd be handling closing costs. I just asked that because I do have a title company that that I'd like to use, and I already have estimates for the purchase a range.
Gotcha.
Or purchase price, and I've already done business with this title
Right,
company, so
right.
I trust them. But and especially like I said, I already have estimates for what they charge.
Right.
And for me, I'm, as a negotiating point, I'd be more interested in getting the selling price that I want, and we pay our closing costs,
Gotcha.
portion of closing costs, than not getting
Yeah.
the point, the seller's price that I want, with but with you all paying closing costs.
Yeah.
I mean, we worked out our numbers too and have our bottom line. So
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's definitely something, again, that we're open to it. We would want to kind of reach out ahead of time and do kind of what you did exactly, and figure out the rates and figure out if it's still something that we're able to work with alongside that purchase price. So definitely open to it.
perform an inspection. And do you do that? Like, are you agreeable to doing an inspection first before submitting an offer, so that you can provide a conscientious offer? Because this is another issue that I'm have run into.
Yeah, and that's
I'd rather, it's one thing to present an offer sight unseen. It's another thing to present an offer after you've actually seen the property.
agreed.
So I'm just asking you if that's something that you consider actually, if we allow for access to the property for you to do a walkthrough first, and then you present your offer, especially based on what I'm telling you, my minimal asking price is.
Right.
So you can see, at least initially, if you can make what I call a conscientious offer based on actually seeing the property versus the offer based on
Right. And I'll tell you, that comes up quite often, and I completely understand why you would want somebody to come look, take a look, because obviously that legitimizes the offer, right? It says, okay, you've seen the property and now you're offering X dollars for the property. For us, we don't typically do that, but it is something that we do on occasion. We don't typically do it because the people that we send out, it's part of our internal team. So we're not hiring, city inspectors or anything like that. We're more so just walking the property and making sure that there's nothing serious, right? We're making sure there's no mold that wasn't talked about or termite damage that maybe even sometimes the sellers don't even know that these issues are happening with the property because it's tenant occupied. They've been renting it out for so many years and they themselves haven't walked the property. So as long and as long as there's nothing like that, we are very confident in the numbers that we give sight unseen, but at that rate, we would only make an offer once we get a detailed description of the current condition. So, and the real main reason, I'll be honest with you, that we don't send people out ahead of time is because if we sent people out to do an inspection on every property that we were interested in buying, we would go out of business because we are paying. They are internal members of our team, but we're paying them to do it. And more often than not, people want the property to get checked out ahead of time, but then maybe not be fully interested in selling, if that makes sense. So we just want to make sure that it sounds like you're committed, and I don't doubt that you are. But in a case like this, especially since you have another contract in place, we just want to make sure that one, we're not wasting our team members' time, and two, we're not wasting your time. I don't want to have to allow have you allow me access or allow my team members access to the property to walk it and get you a number that you aren't even interested in, right? So, and that's why I say we're very confident in our numbers. So at the time when you think it may be falling through or something's not seeming right for you, we can reconnect and we can have a detailed conversation, and not like it's going to take a really long time, but 5-10 minute conversation about the condition of the property. And that way I can let you know at that point whether or not I'm going to be able to meet your price, because at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to, right? Is am I going to be able to pay that price that you're talking about, because it sounds like you're fairly firm, and it's not necessarily negotiable at all.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yes, believe me, Derek. I'm at the point. Yeah, this has been uh, a process. And like I say, if we're not able to do this deal with this particular buyer, then we have to start over. But I don't want my time wasted. We do want to sell the property.
Definitely.
We do know what we're asking based on the market, based on the conditions.
Right. Right.
And I'm telling you, I've been frustrated. People want to, I understand from a company point, if you're dealing with someone that is willing to sell their property for $1, fine. That's not us, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to continue to be insulted with people, expecting that I don't, I'm not a thinking, rational person.
Yeah, yeah.
And they want to offer me significantly less than what I want for the property.
Yeah, I get you. And that's why, that's why I say it. Go. That's why, that's why I say, because, first and foremost, and I don't want to take any more of your time right now, but first and foremost, if it does seem like it's going to fall through, we got to have a conversation about the condition. If you tell me, this is what's going on, this is what the property looks like, and I run my numbers and I think, I don't really think that I'm going to be able to make that 150 work, I'll tell you, right? And I'm going to say, this isn't, I'm not the buyer for you. Because again, I'm not going to want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time either. So I'll be upfront about that. And I hope you believe me when I say that. And, we're really in the business of just getting people taken care of in terms of their real estate needs. So I'm on your team with this. I want the deal to go through with the contract that you have. It sounds like you've been putting up with it for a while. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for you that there's no hiccups, no speed bumps, and that you see the closing table with, the contract that you already have in place. Because I would hate, like you said, to have to start from square one and go through this whole process again. So, at that rate, I am interested in buying the property, but at the cost of you having to go through this whole process again, like I said, I'll be keeping my fingers crossed too. It's kind of a double-edged sword. I'll hope to hear back from you, but if I don't, then I'll know that you were well taken care of. So,
right. Well, thank you for your time, Derek, and for your being forthright.
Absolutely.
And I'm forthright as well. So, so I'll definitely I'll keep your number in mind, and I'll even just give you a courtesy call if the sale goes through.
Sure.
Then I'll let you know for sure that if the property is not available. If it doesn't go through, then we'll, contact you. And I'm glad to make your acquaintance and know that you're available. That you're interested, and we'll see. We go from there.
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time as well. And like I said, I'm wishing you the best of luck. I hope that everything works out with the current contract in place. And I will. Absolutely. I will talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for just so you know. I mean, basically, it'll be within these next few weeks.
Okay.
Okay. We can't get something done. Like I say, that's our time frame.
Sure.
Because, if it doesn't get done by the end of this month, then
yeah.
But just to give you an idea.
Of course.
So yeah, I'll be I'll give you a call for sure by the end or around. Well, I'll say at least by early next month.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I'll be perfect. I was gonna say I'll save this number here just so that I know. I don't get caught off guard either from me calling back. I'm taking note of my conversation that I had with you here as well. It's just to kind of refamiliarize myself when you do give me a call, and I look forward to hearing back from you.
Okay. Well, thanks so much. Take care. Please stay safe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon and weekend. And yeah, have a great day, and God bless.
Absolutely. You as well. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Geez, that was a long phone call for her to tell me she wasn't interested or that she already had a contract. I did want to be a backup plan for her, but I'm not going to be able to make that price work. The fact that she's not negotiable, I would imagine that the seller is going to try to renegotiate, or the buyer, sorry, sounds like they're still in their inspection period. I would imagine they're probably going to try to renegotiate unless there's some type of hedge fund or, iBuyer or some buyer that is willing to take a very small discount on the ARV, because that's pretty much what the property is worth. I have ARV at 180, 185. So that's like pristine condition and somebody just entering into it with a slight bit of equity, right? Like that's how much is going to be. Like I'm trying to like word this correctly. If somebody were to buy it for 150 and then just simply resell it on market for 185, they would probably be walking away with a few thousand, less than 10,000 in profit just due to the closing costs. They sell it for 185. They're probably down to 170 in commissions and closing costs and fees and inspections. And, they're probably down to 170. So if they had no other costs associated with it, if it was literally their money out of pocket and they didn't have to pay any interest or points to any hard money lenders or any private money lenders like that, if they didn't owe any taxes, if they didn't have to, you know what I mean? I guess it may be a benefit to some people, the fact that there's a tenant in place already and it's cash flowing. Again, it's a very specific type of buyer. Not one that I have in my database yet. This is a property for somebody who just has a lot of money. This is a high W-2 wage earner. This is a doctor. This is a lawyer. This is an engineer who has a lot of personal cash that's just simply wanting to hedge inflation or, do something with their money as opposed to getting 0.001% interest in their savings account. So those are the type of buyers that are going to, buy at 90% ARV, 85% ARV, 95% ARV. Just the fact that they're getting any type of discount is a selling point for them. But again, that one's what I imagine is going to happen is they're going to try to renegotiate price. She's going to say no. She's already taken $5,000 less than what she wanted in the first place. She knows what she's doing. She asked me a lot of pre-qualifying questions, and I felt like I handled them pretty good. But yeah, this isn't something that I'm going to want to move forward with because one, she's going to follow up on all that stuff. She asked me where the headquarters were, and I want to make a note. I did not lie to her. For those virtual wholesaling, I don't want this to come across like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm ethical at the end of the day. If you're virtually wholesaling and she asks you as specifically as that woman did, where is your office located? Where are you headquartered? Where are you personally located? She said this stuff. do you have do you hire inspectors or do you send people? She was asking me these things, so there's no way for me to like talk around that. I need to say it. So that's where I'm at with that one. It's not a good lead in my opinion. I'm gonna take note and save her number and be on the lookout for a call. What I haven't finished my thought. What I imagine is gonna happen is she's gonna try. The buyer's gonna like try to play with her money. She's gonna say no, I already have another buyer, and she's gonna call me, and then we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, and I'm gonna realize that the condition is not something that it doesn't make it worth that much. The fact that there's a tenant in place actually decreases the value of it, believe it or not, because it limits my buyer pool of people who are actually interested in this property. It would be so few amount of people that would be interested in this property. I was just entertaining her. I didn't think that she was going to go on and on and on and actually consider me as an option after she told me that she was already under contract. But I foresee her giving me a call and then me having to let her know, like I said I would, after talking about the condition and this, that, and the third. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm going to be able to make 150 work for a cash offer. Maybe I can entertain some type of doesn't look like she has any mortgage balance on PropStream. So maybe oh no, I'm sorry. That was the comp that I was looking at. If she owns it free and clear, maybe I pitch some type of a seller finance play if that's what she's open to. No, she owes over 70,000 on this. So she's wanting to walk away with what? 90, essentially 85. And she's walking away with 80 after this one. But I'll take some notes here. Already under contract for 150. She wanted 155. Buyer is in inspection period now. Seller asked Derek a bunch of pre-qualifying questions about where he was located, his business model, the process, etc. Seller mentioned she would save Derek's number and let him know either way if she sold it by the end of the month. Boom. This is not, I'm going to set myself a little follow-up note, probably like the second week of October, but I'm not going to actually follow up with her. I'm going to say, I'm just going to kind of make a note. Any word from seller, just a little like reminder task for myself, like, have you heard from her? But I don't really have any intention on calling her back and trying to convince her because she's firm. She may be in la la land, or she may just be crazy enough to market it as aggressively as she has been and to find a buyer like I've been talking about. I have a lot of other people I'm going to call, but it's fucking hot right now and I'm burning up. I need to go sit in front of the AC and make myself something to eat. So I'll be back in a little bit. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate anybody that stuck around this long and watched these kind of unsuccessful calls, but I have a few hot ones still. I have a lot of people that I need to call. So again, like I said, I'm going to be back on in a little bit, hopefully by the end of today, if not tomorrow for sure, to call through these leads, maybe get some cold calling done. It's been a while since I did that as well. But I appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Like, comment your takeaways, comment, say, great job, Derek. Those are some great conversations. You handle those objections very well. All those pre-qualifying questions. Or be like, you're tripping, bro. You let her know you lived in California. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. Let me know. Let me know how you feel. Appreciate you, though. Until the next one. Peace.